Hello?
Hello, is this Thor?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Thor, this is Dustin from KMSU Radio. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Nice to hear your voice.
Yeah, you as well. I'm here with my co-host, Ton.
Hey, Thor, how are you doing?
Hey, how are you? I'm doing very well, thank you.
That's awesome. I'm doing great. I'm excited to hear your voice once again. We have interviewed you once before, but it's been many years. I'm not sure if you'd remember that, but probably we were just.
I believe I remember. I've done quite a few interviews over the years, but
Yeah.
I'm sure I can be brought up to date on it.
Yeah, well, it's no problem. We're a little show. You were one of our early on interviews, and it was just so awesome at the time to have you. And we're just really excited to have you back on the show. We're really excited about your new album. We were just listening to it. We were just completely rocking out to this album, if I'm honest.
Well, that's fantastic.
It's called Alliance, right? Can we talk about this?
That is right. It's Alliance. It's a pantheon of power, a union of power, and we're just real proud of the album.
As you should be, man. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. I had no idea anything about even John Gallagher of Raven, and we were listening to him somewhere on the you two just paired up nicely. It was awesome. It completely rocks.
Thank you so much. That particular song was a tribute to a festival I started way back in 2009 along with Swedish promoters in Sweden years ago. It's called the Muscle Rock Festival, or in Sweden it's the Musko Rock Festival, so we did a tribute to them.
Yeah, it's amazing, the guys you've got. Chris Holmes from Wasp, Ross the Boss, and all these other guys. Are you just collecting these numbers over the years from doing all the tours and kind of calling up some favors here?
Yeah, I would say that's pretty much the story, right? Like Danko Jones, we did a concert in Chicago together back in about 2005, and we always said, hey, maybe if we do a project one day, give me a call. And so, what happened was we were on tour, and then to promote the Rising album in early 2020, and the tour was interrupted by the pandemic. So I was, I sent all the musicians home. It was in March of 2020. And so I was unable to continue promoting the newly released album at the time called Rising. So we needed another album because, that one wasn't getting promoted. So I thought I would reach out to friends out there. And with the help of Ted Jedlicki from the band, he helped me coordinate everything. And John Leibel, Minnesota's own John Leibel, and also Kevin Stewart Swain, who co-produced the album. We reached out to everybody, and everybody came back and said, yes, we want to be on the record. Even one of my heroes and a guy who really helped me promote me in the 1970s in New York, Uncle Floyd, is on the album. He does a little piece on the album. So we got a lot of incredible artists on this record.
Uncle Floyd, he's got to be pushing 100 years old by now.
About my age, yeah. But the thing is that you're only as old as you want to be, or as young as you can. And I feel I'm leaping all over the place. I'm 68 years old, but I'm like rocking. I got a concert coming up in a couple of weeks. I got a movie I'm filming. I've been knocking off videos. We just did our second video with Lou Ferrigno. We got a TV series, Liberator, coming up. Just ton of stuff, right? And I'm just full of action and vitality.
That is awesome. You are the man.
We spoke to you right before Devastation of Muscellation came out.
Oh, boy, that goes a long way, yeah.
Well, just looking at, since we talked to you about 15 years or so, you've had something like almost 20 albums and a rock opera. I mean, it's amazing the kind of stuff, the output that you've got here.
Yeah, I'm very creative. I'm a very creative person, and stuff is in my head, and I want to just get it out there and put it down on paper, and then get it into the studio and hear the stuff, or if it's a movie, make the movie happen, the visual happen, and get the script going. So I just want to do all these things. There's so much I want to do, and unless you do them, they don't happen. You have to make it so, make it happen. And, so that's just the way I'm in. I'm a workaholic. But this is 50 years of Thor. We're also celebrating. And, so, I'm not, it's not that I'm 50 years old, because I'm more than that. That just shows you how long I've been. That shows you how long I've been in the business.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. When you look at the albums, I mean, maybe Prince and, Frank Zappa, some of these guys maybe, but I mean, 39 albums in 50 years. I don't think a lot of people have that kind of resume.
No, they don't. So that's my goal. I want to make, do about 1 million albums. And then, even if I sell a few of each, I could say I had 1 million seller in my life.
Yeah. Nice. That's a good plan. So we did read a bit about this new movie that you're talking. Are we talking about Pact of Vengeance?
Yes, Pact of Vengeance.
Talk to us about that.
It's directed by, it's going to be directed. Well, it's already started filming, right? It's directed by Len Kabasinski and produced by Killer Wolf Films, and it has. I'll be co-starring with Leo Fong. Leo Fong was in Bruce Lee movies. That's how back he goes.
Wow. Cool.
And he's like 90 years old, but he can still do high kicks. And I wouldn't get too close to him if he's mad.
I bet. Yikes.
So,
yeah, no, but it's a high action movie. Like there's, guns, fast cars, just, like the Furious, Fast and Furious type movies. There's just, karate, there's, jujitsu, a lot of different types of martial arts in the movie.
Yeah,
and so it just goes from one thing to another, and then it's got a high octave music that we're writing for the movie. So we got the title track, Pact of Vengeance, and then there's a video we're doing for the movie called We Fight Forever. That's from the album. So we're just going at it.
So you've got other music coming out for just the soundtrack that isn't Don Alliance?
Yeah, we're going to have a special soundtrack, Pact of Vengeance soundtrack.
Yeah, that's so you've got 2-3 albums, a movie. I mean, you're just kind of. I'm just amazed at the output you've got.
Yeah, and the videos, right? So that's the thing. We're not touring right now. I have some concerts coming up, but I can't cross the border. The U.S. Government just announced that the border is closed right now between Canada. I'm in Canada right now, so between Canada and U.S. is closed. They're extending their travel restrictions. So I can't cross the border to go to do U.S. tours. So I'm going to have to do just some concerts up here in Canada. I've been making in-store appearances to promote the album in Canada, but we're going to do some live concerts coming up. We've got one on the 31st. We got one.
Man, so serious question, Thor. Do you sleep at all, or what happens here?
It's a restless sleep. Just it's difficult for me to sleep for longer than an hour at a time, and then I just get up, thinking about all kinds of ideas, and so it's hard to have a sound sleep.
Man.
For me.
Man.
I sleep, but scattered sleep.
Wow. So are you still doing all the on-stage antics? You were bending like crowbars, was it?
Yeah, I did some crowbars, steel bars. I would rip license plates in two, blow up and explode lifetime guaranteed hot water bottles. I had bricks smashed on my head and on my chest with sledgehammers. I did quite a few strength feats. Coming from the 70s, the bigger the show, the better. You came from a period of glitter rock where they had like 10 trucks. Like ELO was out there touring with Kiss and everybody, Elton John. Everybody had these massive stage shows. Alice Cooper was, hanging himself. Gene Simmons was breathing fire. So I had to have a calling card or a few calling cards. And so I did a lot of strength feats. And that got me a lot of attention. We still have a great stage show, some great costumes, but I no longer do the strength feats anymore.
Well, I
don't feel they're necessary. The strength is in the music.
Yes. It really is. It really is. When you listen to the album, it really is. It's awesome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that my work could be recognized. Because in the beginning, when I first started, the critics were really heavy and came down on me. They said I sang like a broken muffler, and I couldn't write a song out of my way out of a paper bag, stuff like that. Just really, no matter whether I had good music or not, they panned it, and for example, Keep the Dogs Away, I thought was a great album, and a lot of people like Keep the Dogs Away, but I still got criticism, for that album. But I like to say that if I walk away tomorrow and hang up the hammer, hang up the cape and the helmet, and I call it a day, I like to think that this was a great piece of work, and I could end my career after 39 albums, where I'm happy that, this was a great album to top it off.
Well, it really was. And I mean, it's crazy. It's a different landscape even now. It's a different time now. I'm sure you, even better than us, can tell so much differences in cultures and society and how things are being done in comparison to back then. I mean, there was a lot of great things happening in the 70s and even into the 80s and whatnot. But there was a lot more like trying to keep people in their box, so to speak, a lot less acceptance. And I mean, I can remember myself feeling like even if you were like you would meet opposition if you wanted to tell your buddies, no, man, keep the dogs away, keep the dogs at bay. This rocks, like Thor rocks. What are you talking about? Rock and Roll Nightmare. Awesome. And then everybody would then all of a sudden they maybe criticize you even. So, but obviously you've got fans that have done that over the years and they still are here, and what those critics say, it's like, I wouldn't sweat any of that, man. You're the winner at the end of the day for sure. Yeah. Just like what we're saying, your resume is ridiculous. Did you say you're also doing a television series?
Yeah.
Is that only in Canada?
I don't know if you saw no. We're planning it out now. We're in pre-production for it. I don't know if you saw the new video that came out, Because We Are Strong. It has Lou Ferrigno in. It's the official music video for the movie Liberator. And The Liberator is like a pilot for the upcoming TV series that's planned. So I'm going to be joining Lou Ferrigno in the TV series.
That's amazing. I didn't see that at all. I'm very excited now. I'm very excited to
Great.
To watch it.
Well, you got to check the video out. It's I think it's one of our best singles in a long time, and it's a pretty good video.
I will check it out.
I wanted to ask you, all the stuff that you have going on now, the new stuff, at the same time you've been going back and reissuing a lot of the older albums, and that stuff is great as well. These deluxe reissues that have all the stuff from the vaults, and the DVDs. Are you going to continue to release more of that stuff? Is there much more of that left that we might see?
Oh yeah, there's always new treasures being discovered, and there's going to be more releases of lost material that was never released. There's one that everybody asks about. They want it released, and that's Recruits Wild in the Streets. It's a full-length LP that was released mainly in Britain at one time, and I think Yugoslavia. But we're getting a lot of demand to release that record, and the label wants to re-release it. It was released in 1986, and I think it's got some pretty cool songs on.
Yeah, that's the one I was going to ask you about. You can go online and try to track that down, but as you said, it wasn't available around here. So I mean, it's commanding some pretty wild prices. So that'll be cool to get it back into the hands of the fans.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I think Cleopatra Records have done a great job for me. They've released Only the Strong, which is considered one of our best albums that we've done. And they re-released Keep the Dogs Away, Unchained, and many others, and also Lost Material. And as well, we've released, I guess this is our 5th new album with them. Just since 2013, Cleopatra Records have released, like you were saying, like 20 albums, So they make up a big bulk of the 39 albums.
Well, and you had the Electric Eyes album, which I had never heard of, and it was like, oh, here's this random Lost Thor album that was never released, and that was amazing as well. I don't know what the story behind that is, or was that just on a shelf somewhere for a while?
It was in a basement for a long time, and just sitting there. Well, what it was going to be was the follow-up to Keep the Dogs Away. And back at that time, in 1977, 78 era, it was the cars were coming in, sort of more garage type acts, the Ramones, those kind of things. So I think Keep the Dogs Away was well produced, had a high production. So we went into Mushroom Studios. That's where Heart recorded their album. And so we went in there, and it's old tube, analog with tapes, and we went in there and recorded this record, which was more, I thought, more of a garage sound, more of the sound of the day. But the label wanted more big production, and they said we're not going to release it. It was the follow up to Keep the Dogs Away. So anyhow, they shelved it, and the master. I retained the master, but I just kind of, it was in a chest with a bunch of other old costumes and stuff like that, and then there it was, right? And what we had to do, we had to bake it actually, because if the oxides separate, because of the dampness and everything, if you don't bake it, you can destroy the tape before you play it. So it had to be baked and dried, and so anyhow, so there it was, and it came out really good, and a lot of people like it. It's a pretty good album. I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna grab a drink here. I'm like choking. I thought it was my emotions, but talking about the old albums.
Yeah.
Just gotta gulp down this beer here.
Well, you mentioned some of the
happy hour here.
Yeah. Will you be back on the road, if the border issues kind of sort themselves out?
I talked to my booking agent, and he said that he wants to start booking in 2022 and not earlier than that. So we're just doing pickup shows, like doing a show here, doing a show there, until we actually start, doing full-fledged concerts, which we will do next year in 2022. We'll be back out there again.
Excellent.
Yeah. A lot of promoters, even in Minnesota, we're getting calls, from promoters in California and Pennsylvania. They want concerts, right? And so, we'll oblige them. We'll be out there, and we'll be, rocking and rolling.
Awesome. Yeah. Hopefully you get a Minnesota date somewhere, and then we'd love to come out and meet you this time.
Oh, that would be absolutely wonderful. And, I got a close connection with Minnesota with John Leibel, Ted Jedlicki, Tom Croxton, Matt Hamilton, and these guys are great guys, and they're all from that area.
Awesome.
They're like, I've toured with them all over the place in Europe, and great musicians in Minnesota, just tremendous. Definitely.
Well, again, the new album Alliance is out, and it sounds great. And you mentioned about half a dozen other projects you're working on. Is there anything else maybe we missed, or something else we should look out for?
Yeah. Well, I could go into the future and talk about my new film, Stench Show. I'm going to be really promoting that coming up. Basically, if you ever seen the movie Dark Man, it's along the lines of Dark Man. You know, it's that kind of style, very strange kind of film, a superhero horror film.
Wow!
And so, it'll blow your mind. It's something that, I mean, there's superhero movies and then there's superhero movies. No one's ever seen anything like this. So
Crazy.
I'm very excited about that, but it's not going to start like filming till like next year, 2022.
Very cool. I'm excited for all of it.
Thank you. And just as long as I can keep going, right? I think the music keeps me going. Like I have a song called "We Live to Rock," and as long as I'm rocking, I keep living.
Gotta just keep your weapons tuned.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, as long as the weapons are tuned, that's for sure.
Awesome. Well, again, it's been an honor speaking with you, and we're glad we were able to catch up with you again. And, you know, maybe if you got a show coming up in Minnesota next year, we can speak again.
That would be absolutely wonderful, and it was an honor to talk to you guys again. And thank you for letting me be on your show.
All right, you bet. Thanks a lot, Thor.
It was our pleasure.
Thank you, man.
Yep. Have a good
See
one.
you guys. You too. Bye.